Hello, and welcome to the How to Choose Happiness and Freedom Show. I'm your host, Lauren Foster, happiness teacher and founder of Be Happy First. As a certified life mastery consultant, masters of wisdom and meditation teacher, and primal health coach, I'm on a mission to help 1 million women learn to be happy and free on purpose, healthy, wealthy, and joyfully living life on your own terms. Happiness is a choice, and you can always choose to be happy first. Thanks so much for being here. Now on to today's episode. All right. Thanks so much for being here with me on August the 6th, 2020 on a Thursday morning Eastern time anyway. I'm so happy that you're here. As you know, this is my birthday month, and I'm using my birthday as an excuse to have all kinds of extra fun in this month, just like I'm always teaching you to do. Every single moment of every single day has the potential for joy and the potential for not joy, anger, sadness, depression, whatever, all those things. And we get to choose our perspective in every single moment. And we get to choose how we're going to manage our perspective in everything. So I'm going to talk this month, or today at least, about money and what your money set point is. What is your belief system around money, and how can you learn to attract more money by having all kinds of fun? So I want to say thank you to the hundreds of birthday messages that I got on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, through email and message and text and phone calls. And, you can say what you will about technology and social media and all those things, but I guarantee I didn't get this many birthday wishes back when I turned 25. So we're able to reach out and touch each other in so many more instantaneous ways in this amazing time that we're living in. And so I'm really grateful for so some people were friends and family that know me and love me dearly, and they reached out in that way. Some are casual acquaintances. Some are, my teachers from high school and friends from my entire life and my travels and places that I used to work. And then others who we only know each other online. We've only made these cursory connections, but they took the time to send basically a stranger a birthday message, because it's kind, because it's good, because it's fun, because it's highlighting the celebration of the arrival of a soul on this earth. And so many people were making the choice to take a moment to participate with me in this great event, which I love my birthday. And so how much fun did I have going through each and every one of those and bringing back the memory of my high school band teacher, or the person that I used to work with, or the person that I met in Guatemala, or the person that I met on a cruise. So, that was just so much more magnifying of that fun. I could easily have gone, 300 people wish me happy birthday, that's cool, and not milked any of the joy and the fun and the pleasure from that. So do you see? Well, I chose to take a segment of my time to immerse myself in this very, very fun and uplifting activity. So you attract what you are. This is in every area of your life. If you are surrounded by ornery people who are angry and nitpicky and complaining, then you can pretty much guarantee that if you look back at yourself, that's the kind of energy that you're putting out. Now, this is not about casting blame or saying, shame on you. We're not shaming or blaming anybody, or making you feel like you are at fault. What we want to do is help you recognize your power, that you are able to switch the way that you are looking at things, which will automatically switch the way that you're expressing yourself in the world and the energy that you're emanating. And those ornery people simply cannot come around. It's a vibrational impossibility for two things that are vibrating at such different frequencies to exist in the same space. So if you look around and everybody around you is happy and smiling, and keep doing that. Do the things that you're doing that are building joy and attracting to you things that look like who you are. So how does this apply to money? Money is such a weird and tricky subject because we've all been taught a lot of negative things about money. If you look at our literature, look at our fairy tales, look at, you know, the political climate. You know, rich people are bad. Rich people got there by treading on someone else. You know, money is the root of all evil. You know, Scrooge and the evil queen and all of our wealthy fairy tale characters are not nice people. They're evil. And so we get this stuff in our mind that money is bad. But if you think back, gosh, just barely over 200 years ago, when this country was born, we used tobacco and beads and furs and all kinds of just things that you find in our environment as money. And we traded these things for other things that we needed, and that was our currency. And now our money's ones and zeros. We hardly ever even touch anything that represents money anymore. And you know, instead of a few $1,000s being wealthy for a person in a year, that's no longer, you can even survive on that anymore. So it's all just energy, it's all just a thing, it's all just a concept, and everything has the value to which we assign it. Now, money is not bad, money is good. Money will allow you to go out and do amazing things in the world if that's what you want to do. So the amount of wealth that you want to have, the state of your bank accounts, is something that you get to decide upon, and it all starts here. So have a look. Have a look at what kinds of things you grew up with thinking, what kinds of messages. You know, my parents were raised during the Depression, so we heard what I heard some money doesn't grow on trees types of things, but I don't know, not all that much, because my parents were kind of hands-off parents, but that's a completely other story. So, what are your beliefs about money, and what is your money set point? If you've never earned more than $50,000 in a year, it's not easy, it's not impossible, but it's not easy to jump to a mindset that's expecting $500,000 a year. So, what are some fun things that you can do to start retraining your brain to think in bigger numbers, to be able to accept the possibility that you can be a millionaire, a multimillionaire, a billionaire, whatever amount of money it is that you want to attract. And now, I'm also not saying that everyone should be striving for great wealth. It might not be important to you at all. You might have something completely different in mind for your life that doesn't really revolve around having a lot of money. But most of us in this world, the things that we want to do, the places that we want to go, the ways that we want to help, they require money. So let's love it. Let's embrace it. Let's make it welcome. And that brings to mind the, if what does real desire, healthy, hopeful, anticipatory desire feel like, and how is that different than wanting? So, like Abraham-Hicks likes to say, every subject is two subjects. If you pick up a stick, you pick up both ends of the stick. And this is just straight from the mouth of Esther Hicks. This is her analogy. But on one end of that stick is the awesome, fun, and delicious desire of things not yet created, and anticipating all of the ways in which the universe can co-create with you in order to create those things, in this case, money, wealth, healthy bank accounts, financial security, financial freedom, whatever words you want to give that to. And then on the other end of that stick is lack, is worry about how the bills are going to get paid, or envy of other people who seem to you to have it so much easier. So every time you pick up the stick, you're picking up both ends, and it's up to you to decide which end of that stick you're going to look at and which way you're going to focus and direct your attention. So are you complaining? Are you saying, I can't afford this? Are you envious of people who appear to be doing things that you can't afford to do? If the words I can't afford that ever come out of your mouth, stop it. Don't do that anymore. Don't do that to yourself. Frame that in a different way. That's not yet something that's in my budget, but it will be someday. And so then I have a whole lot of fun, cool tools that I do to help adjust my money mindset. So I'm not yet at the place where I'm easily just manifesting millions of dollars right off the bat. I'm still in the process of growing from, 70, 80, 90, 100, 500,000. I'm on that scale too. So I'm doing this work with you. And the awesome thing is they say that money does not buy happiness, and that's true. It's also true that you don't have to wait to have money to be happy. And if you don't believe that this is the truth, let me tell you a story about when I first arrived in Guatemala. I lived there for a few months back in 2008. And my landlady was an American who had a golf cart. Now, in the United States, a golf cart is no big deal. But in Guatemala, her little golf cart was very unique and very just a cool, out of the way, out of something that you just didn't see all the time. And so when she would drive that golf cart down the street, these little Guatemalan children who often didn't have enough to eat, often didn't have clean water, didn't have any of the things that we as Americans take for granted, would race down the road to get to her and hop on her golf cart and tell her to go faster, faster, rapido, rapido. And they were having so much fun and they were so happy. They were able to take this simple thing like a ride down the middle of Panay Shell on a golf cart and turn it into something amazing and fun. And we all have that opportunity in every single thing that we do in every day. All right, so how do we go about beginning to grow our money mindset to make ourselves into a vessel that is able to accept greater wealth? I'm on the email list for a company that charters private jets because I want to do that one day. I want to be able to go, you know what? I want to take my whole family on a trip to this place and I want us to all be on this private jet. And so whenever that email comes into my inbox, I'm like, oh, it reminds me of that dream. It reminds me of that vision. And I look at the prices. How much does it cost to charter a jet for this many people to go this far? And the first few times I looked at that, like, oh, that's a big number. I can't tell you exactly what it is right off the bat. But now when I look at those numbers, I'm like, oh, it's only $100,000 to do that. It's only $75,000 to do that. So I'm getting my brain used to looking at bigger numbers. Do you see how that works? I also have I would love to own an island one day. And there's I Googled one day, islands for sale. There's a bunch of them out there. You can buy an island. And when I saw an island that was only $1.5 million, it wasn't a very big island. And, but still a whole island for only $1.5 million, only $1.5 million. So not that long ago, 5, 10 years ago, I wouldn't ever have said only in front of $1 million for anything. The same thing with big pieces of land. I get emails every single week of land that's being auctioned, that's in the mountains, that's on the beach, that's all over the country. And I look at those, and now when I see, you know, pieces of land that are only $500,000, only $1 million. Do you see how I'm getting used to different size numbers? And so that's kind of shifting my mindset. And the thing that has always been happening for me for the last since 2012 really is that everything that I have wanted and planned for, the money has arrived. It comes through my work, it comes through all kinds of different avenues, but I've been able to do all the things that I wanted to do, buy this house, replace my car, anything that I have really wanted and needed and was ready for, it happened for me. And that's going to continue to happen in bigger and bigger and bigger ways. And that's what I'm wanting to teach you too and bring you along on this journey with me. Now, what does it mean to be wealthy? There's if you Google, if you have $1 in your pocket, you are richer than. You'll see all kinds of little stories that are like this. But basically, if you have $1 in your pocket, a roof over your head, and clothes on your body, you are richer than 75% of the world. So wealth is relative. I feel very wealthy. I live simply, but I feel very, very wealthy because that's how I choose to feel. And a lot of times in my morning affirmation statements, I say I'm wealthy. And the universe says, and so it is. And here you go. All right. So, going from a mindset of 50,000 to 500,000 is going to be difficult. This is why people who win millions of dollars in the lottery will often go back very quickly to the income level that they were at before. They'll make poor investments. They'll give it away. They'll just spend it. And because their mindset, their vessel never did the expansion to become a person who can manage millions of dollars. So manage the money that you have with love and with attention, with appreciation. I bank at a credit union, and we get dividends all the time, usually just in the pennies. But every single time, like I just entered a 5-cent dividend into my little spreadsheet where I keep up with my money. I said, thank you. Thank you for that 5 cents. That's very cool. I just got a free box of syringes for my dog, which, out of the blue for nothing. I'm like, thank you. This is money. This is the currency of things that are flowing in and out of our lives. And if you are grateful and appreciative of every single penny, then more of those will come to you. I love how T. Harv Eker puts this. He's like, people who say money's not important or don't care about money or money's bad, money's evil, think if you said those things about your best friend. If you said, you're not important to me, best friend, is your best friend going to want to be around you? No. And the same thing goes for money. So if money is important to you, say so. If you really want an infusion of abundance and money into your life, say so, and say it with gratitude and say it with appreciation for every little bit that arrives. And the more grateful you are, appreciative, grateful and appreciative have subtle but different vibrations. The more appreciative you are of unexpected money that arrives, the more you are opening the floodgates for more of the same. So pretend as if you are preparing your life for a treasured guest, and find ways to make money comfortable and make money feel at home and make money feel loved and appreciated. So I hope that you're finding ways to enjoy your life. I hope that you are making a choice to look out the big, beautiful picture glass window that is all of the wonderful things in the world, instead of picking out the things that are the few small things that are not going exactly like you want them to right now. The more you give your attention to the things you want, the more those things will arrive in your life. So I'm going to be back with you next week on Tuesday. We may have a guest. It may be just me. I'm just kind of going with the flow of how this show evolves and doing whatever the spirit moves me to do each day. So whatever it is, it's going to be great, and I want you to be here with me. And in the meantime, remember, happiness is a choice, and you can always choose to be happy first. I'll see you next week.